It had been an eventful time since Skif arrived at the SIRCAA Institute. Initially greeted with open arms at the front door and given a room key to a penthouse suite. However, it wasn't long before he found himself volunteering to sort out the breach in the Cryptobiology Lab due to a spatial anomaly. Upon solving the mystery, he found himself confronting the man who got him in the zone, Professor Hermann. He found out that Professor Hermann knew the artifact Skif had was the Alpha artifact all along. Skif found out that Dalin's experiment with the artifact farm was not successful in creating the Alpha, and he also found out because of the artifact farm not working that Dalin resorted to trying to recreate a second Caribbean experiment. It is obvious to Skif now that Professor Dalin doesn't care about the damage he caused in the name of science or the people that he hurt. A couple of thoughts plagued Skif as he made his way to the meeting with Dr. Dalin. You see, after last night's events, Dr. Dalin requested a meeting with Skif straight away. However, Skif, disgusted by the news he had just received, let Dalin wait in his lab all night while he spent one more night pondering his thoughts in Dalin's apartment. However, the thoughts that plagued Skif were as follows. The first one was, it really was Dr. Hermann's scanner project that was responsible for getting the Alpha to the SIRCAA Institute. Secondly, Skif wondered, was it Dalin that captured Hermann the night Skif entered the zone in an attempt to steal his work and take credit for it? After a while of pondering, Skif realised he still didn't have the answer to the biggest question of all. What in God's green earth are they doing with the monolith? And in fact, he still doesn't know if he's going to actually help Strider, or he's just going to side with the ward and take the money and the just rewards that come with it. He knows deep down what the ward is doing is dangerous. However, he is very tempted by the financial gain. But at the present moment, Skif, still very, very angry from the news he received last night, arrives at the labs for his meeting with Dr. Dalin. This is the RPG Loner, and welcome to episode 9 of my Stalker 2 series.
What do you want from me? Get to the point.
It'll become clear soon enough, Colonel. And no, you won't have to send your men anywhere or put them in danger. For that, we've got...
Speaking of danger,
As I was saying, we need someone who's already got certain qualities. Courage, persistence, endurance.
any of my men will do.
Not quiet. We need someone who's already had a particular kind of experience in the zone. Basically, we need a stalker. The readings all match up. But to see it with my own eyes, that's something else. A scientific miracle. Alpha. Quarter of century ago, maybe even longer. The artifact that started it all.
It's still going strong, and not just in the zone.
You stalkers with your tall tales. You need to lay up the booze.
The second Caribbean experiment, you asshole! Tall tales, huh? Look at me! I lost everything back on the mainland. And you tell me to lay off the booze?
To the victor go the spoils. This experiment is not going to conduct itself. Stand down.
We had a simple choice. Sit back and just wait for another super emission, or take a chance at getting control of the anomalous energy. And look, our gamble paid off. As for your home, you can blame the zone, not me.
Cool it, soldier. The second Caribbean experiment didn't go as planned. During the experiment, the group was attacked by SCAR's saboteurs. They're local stalkers, a thorn in my side. And since they achieved what they set out to back then, you can be sure they'll keep trying to get in our way. You're blaming the wrong people, Skif.
Let's hope that this time, security will be your top priority. now that everyone has blown off some steam and is capable of having a civilized conversation, let's move on to the one truly important thing. Science. Do you want to know what's there? Behind the glass? It's the dream of every stalker. The wish granter. Also known as the monolith. It's not a myth, nor is it a deity. It's a SIRCAA installation created by scientists from Project X. Instead of rusting away inside the sarcophagus, it's now here at the Institute.
So does this installation really grant wishes?
Well, it can show anyone exactly what they wish to see. A customized illusion of happiness. It's one of its built-in functions. But we're both adults, you and I. We realize that all those who come to the Wish Granter are already enthralled to their own illusions.
Why did you bring the monolith here? Wasn't one failed experiment enough for you?
Skif, please. Alpha artifacts are a source of power not only for the generators, but for other Project X installations as well. Including those designed to create illusions, like the monolith. If your Alpha artifact activates the monolith now, we'll know it's genuine and can be used with the generators.
My people are trained for this. They will handle it.
The hell they will. It's my artifact. I'll be the one testing it.
According to Colonel Korshunov, SCAR's saboteurs is the real reason that the second experiment was botched. Perhaps a bit of truth in both stories, but Skif knows for sure he definitely doesn't like SCAR.
Good job with the scanner. You know how to get what you want. That's a virtue. But you aren't able to control your own emotions. That's a vice. If you ever do something like that again, I won't be so understanding.
Is that some kind of threat?
It's a warning. A gentle reminder that trying to strangle SIRCAA employees in the presence of the SIRCAA head of security is a bad idea.
You didn't mind it that much for the first few seconds.
A moment of weakness. Happens to the best of us.
So my home burned down because of SCAR?
SCAR will sacrifice anything for his ideas. His goal is to eliminate both SIRCAA and the Ward. Everything else is acceptable losses. Someone once told me that believing someone doesn't mean trusting them. Mull that one over.
I found the person who killed your men in the Lesser Zone. It was Faust, a fanatic who believes in the monolith.
I got the report on S.T.A.L.K.E.R, but Clear Sky, that's news to me. Pretty bad news. I'll look into it. Thank you. No one should ever be left unavenged.
Monolith fanatic. Project X had such crude methods.
Do you have any questions? We should get on with the test.
What do you think of this monolith test?
Dalin doesn't know anything beyond his precious science. But if he says the test requires a special subject, you can be sure it's true. If you're so eager to risk your life, I won't try to stop you. I guess you stalkers just need to experience everything firsthand.
Let's begin.
Head down there. We'll monitor the situation from up here.
So it turns out that the monolith is only being used to prove that this artifact is in fact the Alpha. According to Dr. Dalin, if the artifact can activate the monolith, it is in fact proof that it is what they are looking for.
What you want is here.
Well, it's now or never, Skif thought to himself.
Humanity is corrupt. Mankind must be controlled.
What the hell was that? Skif thought to himself.
Time has come. I see your wish.
This thing isn't a deity, according to Dr. Dalin. But Skif knows one thing for sure. It sure is creepy as hell.
I want the zone to disappear.
Again, Skif isn't quite sure what he just seen, or what the hell it's supposed to all mean.
Look, Dalin, this mousetrap still works on stalkers.
Alpha is real. That's all that matters. We don't need this one anymore.
Strider's buddy isn't walking out of here alive. I'm putting an end to this farce. Kill the stalker.
Okay, it's safe now. Shutting it down. I think that's it. He's out. The level up.
Insult off a medic, now!
Are you okay now, Skif? Would you come up here, please?
So it appears that Skif has been in a dreamlike state or some sort of hallucination. As he awakens, he looks around all confused, sees the monolith gone, and makes his way back up to the labs to speak to Dalin and find out what the hell all that was.
What did you see? What happened in the monolith room?
Nah. You're the one who's gonna tell me what the fuck is going on here. Whose memory did I just see? Why did the ward attack me? Wish Granner my ass.
Calm down, Skif. Please. That was just a minor distortion. An illusion, nothing more. It's over now.
He's telling the truth, soldier. The installation has been shut down. You're safe.
Was that another botched experiment, Doc?
I wouldn't call it that. I didn't foresee those sea vestiges, that's true. The monolith showed you someone else's memory. I never expected that. Who knew those tall tales had a basis in reality? But I was sure you'd be fine. It was impossible to calculate the safe level of Psi exposure when the monolith was first created. But it's a different story now. I used the minimal configuration, see? You're safe and sound, and despite some unpleasant side effects, everything went well. The Alpha artifact worked. We can begin the experiment.
Are you planning to use the Wish Granner again?
Why would we do that? It's a relic of the old zone, a distraction for those who manage to enter the sarcophagus. But SIRCAA doesn't need that. We have the ward to protect us. Besides, even in its prime, this ancient hunk of junk never functioned as intended. The last thing I need right now is SIRCAA fanatics, thank you very much.
What are you gonna do if the connection is successful? How are you gonna use the anomalous energy?
SIRCAA will become the very thing you stalkers saw in the monolith. Except, we'll grant wishes for real, and we'll do it for all mankind. The Earth will have an inexhaustible source of energy. We will reach the outer limits of the solar system. We will work wonders.
Are you sure it's safe connecting the artifact to the generators?
There are certain risks, of course. But inaction would be far more dangerous. We must take control of the zone's anomalous energy before disaster strikes. When we connect to the generators, the zone will be eliminated. and the anomalous energy will finally start serving the needs of mankind.
Yes?
I'm waiting for the stalker, Colonel.
Got it. He'll be there. Go to the projection room, Skif. She's waiting for you. Good luck.
And Skif, I'm sorry about your home. I wish great experiments could always be performed without casualties.
So now a mystery woman wants to meet Skif after proving the artifact he brought was in fact the Alpha. He is now heading to another meeting. It's been a pretty eventful day so far, and he gets the feeling it's far from over. So he heads to the projection room. Upon observing the mutants behind these display cabinets, Skif shakes his head in disapproval before heading into his meeting.
Skif! Thank God you're here. If only Dalin had listened to me, I wouldn't have to cheat. You know that's true. Tell her. I'm begging you.
Your friend is a strange kind of scientist, Skif. He loves secrets more than discoveries.
He's no friend of mine.
Skif!
That makes sense. People need more than just a couple of days to really become friends. You need to trust one another, share your secrets. Like the fact that someone stole the scanners from SIRCAA just because he was so envious of Dr. Dalin. And guided by his co-conspirator Faust, he insisted on murdering every last witness, including you, of course.
I can explain everything.
There's no need
To repeat yourself, Professor. This man almost got you killed. So it's up to you to decide his fate.
Let him go.
Professor Hermann, you may go.
Skif! Thank you. Thank you.
Professor, you forgot something.
Goodbye.
Yevhen Martinenko, 25 years old. Born in a small town, loved a good book, but preferred a good fight. Served in the army, upon returning home was engaged in risky part-time jobs. No real friends, no family, just lonely evenings in front of the TV. A while ago, he came home to find his place in ruins. You've been through a lot, Yevhen. Cigarette? After the fire at those apartments, everyone rushed to seek help from officials. But not you, Yevhen. In your search for the truth, you had the courage to enter the zone. Perseverance is an admirable quality, and you've got heaps of it. That's why we can thank you, and you alone, that the scanner is back at SIRCAA. The zone is extremely dangerous to the outside world. But thanks to you, we will soon have its power under control. And in the meantime, you can return to the mainland and move into a beautiful new house.
Sounds great.
You deserve it.
But I want to be there for the experiment. Bread was promised. Now it's time for circuses.
Dr. Dalin speaks highly of you, but the experiment requires top-level security. Although, perhaps you could help us in this matter. Someone's planning to stop us, right? Stop us getting what we deserve.
I can't help you. Sorry.
Skif, come in.
there yet? See if you can get to the labs and find out about the monolith. I'm counting on you, Stalker.
Someone's taking advantage of you again, Yevhen.
Yeah. And you aren't?
Strider has nothing to offer you in return, unlike us. Find him. Ask him to lay down his arms. No war because should begin with bloodshed.
And so another meeting, and more revelations to Skif. According to Agatha, whether this is information we can trust or not is another issue, but according to Agatha, Hermann stole the scanners from the SIRCAA Institute because he was envious of Dalin. Professor Hermann then, knowing Skif's background, armed him with the scanner, got him to recharge the artifact in an attempt to take credit for getting the artifact to SIRCAA. But we also found out off Agatha that Hermann's co-conspirator was in fact Faust this whole time. And this is the man we've been brutally hunting in the zone and possibly are still pursuing. We don't know what's going to happen here though. But we know one thing for sure. She knows Strider plans to be a saboteur for her work, and she's given us the opportunity to head down to the basement and convince him otherwise. So down he goes. And now Skif knows the time to make a choice is fastly approaching. Does he help Strider sabotage the ward's plans? After all, he did see the monolith in action, and he knows for a fact it's dangerous. Or does he take the money and the house from the ward? After all, it was like Agatha said, Strider could offer us nothing in return, while the ward could offer us everything. Let's see what Skif decides to do.
So Strider was right? The monolith? Skif, is it really here?
Yeah. I tried it.
And what happened?
A hallucination. That's what it was. See influence. Nothing more.
Maybe you're stronger than we were. Or maybe you just don't realize what's happened to you yet.
Dalin said SIRCAA isn't going to use the monolith anymore. They only needed it to prep for another experiment. They're gonna end all this shit right here, right now. They're gonna destroy the zone.
And you believe that, Skif? Do you really believe the monolith is just an installation, and they actually know what they're doing? They'll write off all their mistakes as collateral damage in pursuit of the greater good. But we are not some byproducts of their experiments, Skif. We are human beings. If their plans have any relation to the monolith, we are putting an end to them. These people are not to be trusted. We can't waste any more time. Tell me now, Skif. Are you with the ward or with us?
It was then when Skif remembered another thing Agatha said to him in the meeting. No real friends, no family, and lonely nights spent in front of the TV. And yes, there were nights in the zone where Skif missed his lonely nights in front of his TV. However, deep down in his heart, he knew that these scientists at SIRCAA had no idea what they were messing with. And for that reason, Skif made his decision.
We'll stop them together.
Then it's settled. You should go. Strider is waiting.
Now Skif must find the passage to X11, find Strider, and put a stop to this experiment before it gets out of hand. And by the sound of it, all hell is likely breaking loose all over SIRCAA as we speak.
Where the hell have you been? Help me out with these, will ya? One on each hinge should do the trick.
Recording visual analysis. Context.
All right, let's go.
Router ready. Lock 5. Waveguide ready.
Back it up.
Gateway open. X11. Awaiting connection.
What the fuck? You all right? Let's go.
SCAL here. Request receive main reading.
Out the fucking way!
Connection established.
Okay, I think it's safe to assume another botched experiment for Dr. Dalin, and this so-called connection to the generators with the Alpha artifact just seemed to have the same effect as the monolith. Which begs the question, is it just the Alpha artifact that's controlling people's minds, or is it the technology? But the immediate concern now is getting the hell out of here. So Skif now cautiously looks for a way out, and he is aware that all hell is probably still breaking loose on the SIRCAA surface, and he has no idea what damage that explosion has just caused, so he continues on. But then all of a sudden, Skif overheard two SIRCAA scientists in desperation talking to each other.
I have to examine you, Doctor. We don't have time for this. Skif goes to this meant to the data. There's a flash drive there with the Institute's entire archive on it. It must not fall into the wrong hands. It contains the telemetry data from the experiment. I have to find out what went wrong.
So just in case you missed that, the SIRCAA scientist said there is a flash drive in the data center containing all of SIRCAA's archives, and that they must secure this flash drive to find out what went wrong in the experiment. He exclaimed that it can't fall into the wrong hands, but Skif thought to himself, oh buddy, it's about to fall into the wrong hands. If Skif can get his hands on the flash drive, he may be able to get some answers as to what has just occurred. And Skif's intuition was in fact correct. It is an absolute war zone on the surface here of SIRCAA. Suddenly, Skif's military training kicked in and he charged towards the action. After a quick spot of lunch, Skif remembers he must find the flash drive before escaping. And after being chased around by a poltergeist for a while, Skif finally finds the flash drive. Now all there was to do was escape.
I read you. Over.
Finally. Stride went dark and you weren't picking up. You both have to get out of there immediately. The moon's coordinates are on your PDA. Follow the underground tunnel out of SIRCAA. I hope we'll make it through this in one piece. And that the zone is unharmed.
And so, with haste, Skif made his way to the underground tunnels. Skif now thought the worst of the day was behind him. However, he is about to find out he is sorely, sorely mistaken. We got some dead scientists and some loose mutants, so presumably this is where the experiments were occurring. And we have more trouble ahead as Skif sees SIRCAA soldiers fighting off more loose mutants. So Skif found his way to the guard that was fighting off the mutants and assumed that because they're humans they would give each other a hand, although he was sorely mistaken as he immediately opened fire on Skif, which left Skif to take out the mutants by himself. However, this is not a problem because, as we all know, Skif always gets the job done, and today is no different. Skif continues his looting spree through SIRCAA as he makes his way through the tunnels to find his escape. Skif's got plenty of gear to sell, however he does need to get his guns and equipment serviced. His armour is after taking a battering today also, but he continues on. Oh great, Skif thought to himself, into the abyss again. And there it is. And after another minor mix-up with some local fauna, Skif continues. This door looks promising, Skif thought to himself, and he continued on. But it was then when Skif heard a commotion ahead of him, and by commotion I mean gunshots, and that was when he knew he wasn't out of the woods yet. And after fighting his way through, Skif continued with his escape. Now what? Of course, a live wire and some water. And booby traps. And that was a close one. But after a very, very close call, Skif deactivated the live wire and could continue on. Not this time, Skif said to himself as he notices the tripwire and disables it. Heads up the ladder, and before proceeding he notices a cabin to his right and another tripwire protecting it, disables that, takes the grenade, and then ends up getting some pretty good loot out of this little cabin, including a brand new suit of armour, which he really needed because his armour is very much so deteriorated after today. Puts on the armour immediately and continues with his quest of escaping. And so Skif continued his journey through the underground tunnels. More trouble ahead. When will it end? Skif thought to It was moments like these where Skif did indeed miss his lonely nights in front of the television. Just what Skif needed in the present moment. A pick-me-up and something to steady his hand. A lovely bottle of Cossacks vodka. He continued. Skif came across even more loot, and he will be a very rich man when he does eventually get to a merchant, as he has a lot of gear to offload. It couldn't be much further now, Skif thought to himself. And he was right.
Skif. Oh, I'm glad to see you, buddy. Let's get out of here. Hey, would you look at that?
Dalin, мій рідний край, чарівний край, черемоша і прута. Ти моя любов, ти рідна матінко моя. It's alive! The zone is alive! It survived, Skif! It survived!
You're fucking crazy! I almost died at that fucking institute.
Where is Strider?
Now you ask.
What happened over there, Skif? Where is Strider?
He's...
Why are they shooting at us? Why are you shooting at us? We're with Strider!
Dud. Just like you can't get rid of the sky up above.
What?
They say the sun's always shining in Pripyat.
Bullshit. Yeah. They got all soggy after all. Should have kicked the habit. That means Strider and Dubny and they're all gone? Right. I guess the zone didn't protect them after all. How come, Skif? Incoming from Wide Island. Maybe not all of them got hit by the monolith thingy, right? Come on, chime in.
Mister, it's Lonochka. The island. It's a disaster. Something is happening, and it's...
Calm down, Professor. Deep breaths. I need details.
It happened all at once. Like a signal. Intense sea activity. Incredibly powerful. Noontide. Mister, they've all turned into monolithians again.
Fuck.
I found out where it started, but I can't get there. I'm at Quiet's camp. Someone's here. Reach there. I need your help.
looks even worse than I thought.
Lodochka mentioned some kind of signal. What do you think it was?
I bet it was the exact same crab that made poor horse jump us. He wouldn't hurt it fly. Lodochka's gonna have a heart attack when he hears about this.
What the hell is happening on that island?
No idea. Where's Scar when I need him, damn it? It may not be Spark, but it's high time he showed up. We need to get the professor out of there, Skif. There's no way we can sort that shit out without him.
Ever thought it might all be Scar's fault? He and the ward are all busy with their zone turf war, and the rest of us gotta deal with the fallout. Did you know that Scar tried to stop Dalin from replicating the Caribbean experiment? Maybe Monolith is back because the Wish Granter was taken to SIRCAA. Scar couldn't let it go.
I didn't know about the Caribbean experiment, Skif. I'm not one of Scar's men, and Spark doesn't report to me. I don't have a clue what they're up to or where they are. But you're right. Scar is capable of anything. The question is, will his shortcut lead us to the zone we want?
Okay, I'll help Lodochka.
Right. Here's the deal. You take care of Wild Island and Lodochka, and I'll go find Scar. Sure hope it's not a monolithian bullet keeping him quiet.
During Skif's early weeks in the zone, he found himself in pursuit of a scientist called Professor Ladushka. Professor Ladushka resided on Wild Island, the same place Noontide resided. This is where Skif first met Strider and his Noontide group, a group of former Monolithians. According to Professor Ladushka, the Noontiders have now turned back to Monolithians. It can't be a coincidence that since Dalin's experiment this has occurred. Now Skif must return to Wild Island and respond to Ladushka's distress call. After all, he is a scientist and he could potentially be able to decode the data on the flash drive Skif stole. Or at least know someone who could. Skif also needs to sell the goods he's acquired and get his gear repaired ASAP. After possibly the wildest day Skif has had in the zone since entering, he grew weary, but for now at least, his mission has become clear. He must return to Wild Island and help Professor Ladushka. But if you want to know what happens next, tune into episode 10 of my S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 series.